What if the things that broke you were actually building you? What if that betrayal, that loss, that door that slammed in your face wasn't a curse, but a call? Not to fight harder, not to run faster, but to go deeper. Because 2,000 years ago, a man faced plagues, loss, betrayal, and pressure beyond belief. And instead of breaking, he wrote. And what he wrote changed the way millions live. And maybe today, it's meant to reach you. This is the mindset of Marcus Aurelius. This is the wisdom of the Stoics. And this is how you become unshakable. Chapter 1. You're not blocked. You're being trained. You think life is blocking you? Maybe it's training you. You lost your job. You got betrayed. Your plans collapsed. It feels like every door just slammed shut. But if Marcus Aurelius stood in front of you, he wouldn't pat your back. He'd look you in the eye and say, "The obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle is the way." It sounds backwards, but it's a map for survival. What hurts you teaches you. What blocks you builds you. No clear path? Good. Time to make your own. No support? Good. Time to learn to stand alone. Marcus didn't pretend life was easy. He just refused to be owned by it. He wrote, "Others can stop your actions, but they can't stop your forgiveness. They can't stop your virtue. They can't stop your rise." That's real freedom, the power to choose your response. And it's when you lose control of life that you finally find control of yourself. Now look directly at the thing in your way. That person who hurt you, that fear of failure, that door that just shut. Each one is a test, not of your strength, but of your belief. Stoicism doesn't promise a lighter load. It promises stronger shoulders. So if you're feeling stuck, lost, or hurt right now, congratulations. You're standing exactly where your stronger self begins. Because even emperors had to learn this lesson. And one in particular didn't just learn it. He lived it. Chapter 2. The Minimalist Emperor. When Marcus sold his crown. What would you do if you were emperor and chose to live like you were broke? Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth. He had everything. Palaces, treasure, luxury on demand. But when a deadly plague ripped through Rome, when people were dying in the streets, when fear gripped the empire, Marcus didn't hide behind gold walls. He stepped forward and started selling his own possessions. Not junk, not old armor, but royal treasures, gilded robes, golden cups, palace furniture, laid out on the palace lawn, for sale. He didn't make a speech. He didn't post about it. He acted. "I don't need these. My people do." That wasn't charity. It was philosophy in motion. I possess my wealth. It doesn't possess me. In today's world, that's like a billionaire holding a yard sale. Not for headlines, but for hope. A superstar tearing up a contract to keep a team together. A leader who steps down to lift others up. Marcus wasn't trying to be impressive. He was trying to be honest. Because real power isn't in what you hold on to. It's in what you're willing to release. When the world shakes, you don't need more stuff. You need more soul. That's Stoicism. Not cold detachment, but deep courage. Marcus didn't tell others to live simply. He showed them how, and left us with a quiet challenge. When everything feels uncertain, what are you still clinging to? And what are you brave enough to let go? But letting go of possessions was just the beginning. Because even after giving up everything outside him, Marcus faced a greater battle inside his own mind. Let's go there next. The enemy isn't out there, it's in here. You think your stress comes from traffic, deadlines, or bills. Marcus disagreed. He said, "I escaped anxiety. No, I discarded it." He didn't mean he ran away from problems. He meant he stopped carrying them internally. The world was falling apart around him. People were dying. His empire was stretched thin. But Marcus discovered something shocking. Even when everything calmed down, his anxiety didn't disappear. Because the problem wasn't the outside world. It was what he let it do inside his mind. That's the trap. We blame the noise out there, but we ignore the chaos in here. And Stoicism teaches us, you don't escape suffering by changing your environment. You escape it by changing your relationship to it. You could be in a palace and feel like a prisoner. You can be in poverty and still feel peace. Because freedom isn't location, it's perception. Marcus reminds us, you're not stressed because of your job. You're stressed because of your judgment about your job. You're not overwhelmed by people. You're overwhelmed by the stories you keep repeating to yourself about them. So what do? You go inward. You pause. You breathe. And you remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the space beneath them. You don't control the storm, but you can become the calm within it. And that is the real work. Because you can sell all your gold, but if you still carry anxiety in your heart, you're not free yet. That's where we're headed next. The quiet power of mastering your inner world. 3 questions to free your soul. We spend our lives in motion, but rarely do we stop to ask, is this essential? Marcus Aurelius asked that question all the time, not to be efficient, but to stay aligned. He said, most of what we say and do is not essential. Eliminate it. You'll have more time and more peace. Simple? Yes. Easy? Never. Because we're not just busy, we're addicted to busy. To saying yes when we mean no. To scrolling when we feel unsure. To chasing what looks good and forgetting what feels right. So here are the 3 questions Marcus would want you to ask. 1. Is this essential? Would you still be doing this if you had 1 week to live? Would you still say yes if nobody was watching? Would you still carry it if you weren't afraid to set it down? 2. Am I doing it well? Not fast, not perfectly, but with full presence. Marcus said, concentrate like a Roman. Do each act as if it were your last. So even if it's small, folding laundry, writing an email, do it with honor. 3. Does this reflect who I want to be? Because every action is a vote for the kind of life you're building, for the kind of soul you're shaping. If the answer is no, then pause and choose again. This isn't about productivity. It's about purpose. Because we don't just run out of time. We run out of alignment. And when you start eliminating the unnecessary, you begin revealing the essential you. Now we've cleared the clutter. It's time to build something better. The Emperor's Morning. Before Marcus Aurelius led an empire, he led himself before the decisions, before the letters, before the weight of millions. He woke up and returned to being a man, not a god, not a king, just a human with a duty to live well. And he hated getting out of bed. He admitted it. That voice we all know, the one that says, 5 more minutes. Marcus had it too, but he answered back, were you born to snuggle under blankets? Or to do the work of a human being? Because he knew the day wasn't just going to happen to him. He had to meet it, face first. He started each morning not with noise, but with silence. He sat with his journal, not to write for the world, but to write for himself. What am I avoiding? What do I need to remember today? How can I live with dignity, no matter what comes? That's what meditations was. A morning ritual, a mirror for his soul. And then he worked, deliberately, not rushed, not scattered. He said, do each act as if it were the last of your life. That wasn't a threat. It was a standard. Because every morning is a chance to start over. To stop drifting. To stop faking. To return to who you truly are. Marcus didn't master mornings because he was born disciplined. He mastered them because he refused to waste them. And if a Roman emperor could fight for his soul before sunrise, so can you. Because how you start the day is how you carry your soul through the rest of it. And how you end the day, well, that's what we'll explore next. When the world tests you, when people provoke you, when chaos strikes, can you still hold yourself together while the world falls apart? Let's find out. The difficult people are your teachers. You've done the inner work. You've cleared the clutter. You've owned your mornings. But then someone cuts you off in traffic, snaps at you in a meeting, mocks you online. Suddenly, your peace is gone. It's easy to feel stoic in solitude. The real test is people. Marcus Aurelius knew this better than anyone. He starts his journal with a warning, a personal reminder. Today you will meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. Not if, when. He didn't write that because he hated people. He wrote it so he wouldn't be surprised by them. And yet, he still loved humanity, still served it, still chose to meet cruelty with character. Because the Stoic doesn't resent the obstacle. He uses it. So when you meet someone who frustrates you, don't just react. Ask, what virtue is this person inviting me to practice? Impatience? Patience? Rudeness? Kindness? Lies? Truth? Cowardice? Courage? injustice, integrity. Each clash is an opportunity to train, to respond with grace, to sharpen your soul. Marcus said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy, not because your enemy wins, but because you lose yourself." So next time someone irritates you, congratulate yourself. You just found a new teacher. And sometimes the people who hurt you most are the ones shaping your strength. So bless the ones who trigger you. Thank the ones who test you. They're building the muscles you didn't know you had. Because other people aren't your enemies. They're your curriculum. And when you master that lesson, when you stop seeing people as threats and start seeing them as teachers, you don't just protect your peace. You become untouchable. But there's still one teacher left. The one we all try to avoid. Not fear, not anger, but death. Let's talk about that next. Amor Fati, love what you didn't choose. You made peace with people. Now, can you make peace with life itself? The Stoics had a phrase, a Latin phrase, Amor Fati. It means love of fate. Not just accept it, not just tolerate it. Love it. You didn't get the job? Love it. You lost someone you cared about? Love it. You got rejected, delayed, humbled, broken? Love it. Because it's all shaping you, burning away what you don't need, building what can't be taken. Marcus Aurelius said, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." Not some things. Everything. Pain, loss, injustice, even death. Because Amor Fati isn't passive. It's powerful. It doesn't say, "Oh well, that's life." It says, "Even this will serve me." It's not weakness. It's warriorship. It's taking life's cruelty and turning it into your craft. Think about it. The things that broke you are the very things that built your depth. The moments that crushed your heart are the ones that gave you compassion. You were never meant to escape pain. You were meant to evolve through it. And Amor Fati is the decision to stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What now?" Life is wild, unfair, chaotic, beautiful. You can't tame it, but you can choose to dance with it. You can scream, or you can submit and rise. Because Amor Fati doesn't mean you're happy about what happened. It means you refuse to let it break your spirit. You refuse to stay bitter. You refuse to stay small. You turn toward the pain and say, "This too is mine, and I will turn it into strength." This is how Marcus lived. This is how warriors of the soul are made. Not through ease, but through embracing what was never asked for. And once you can do that, once you stop resisting what is, you don't just survive life, you become one with it. And that's when something deeper begins. Because when you love your fate, you stop fearing the future. And maybe, just maybe, you're finally free. So now you've seen it. What Marcus lived through. What he chose when he could have chosen comfort. The mornings, the mindset, the mastery of his own emotions. The man who ruled the world, but refused to be ruled by anything else. Now it's your turn. You may not wear a crown. You may not hold an empire, but you do have a life. And that life is waiting for you to meet it with clarity, courage, and compassion. So here's the question. Which of these lessons hit you hardest? And more importantly, what will you do about it today? Backhand index pointing down, drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this resonated, subscribe to join the Stoic Mindset. Because this isn't just a video, it's your training ground, and we're just getting started.